Hello, viewers. Welcome to today's episode of Success Tips on Marriage and Family Life. I remember in the last video, I did promise that I was going to discuss the contents of the definition of marriage that I gave in that video. And I defined marriage quoting the Catechism of the Catholic Church, 1602, and defines marriage that marriage is the matrimonial covenant by which a man and a woman establish between themselves the partnership of the whole of life. This covenant is ordered towards the good of the spouses and the procreation and education of offsprings. And this covenant between baptized persons has been raised by Christ the Lord to the dignity of a sacrament. CCC 1602. Now, in this video, I want to discuss the features, the parameters of that definition. If you like, the features of marriage. First, it says that marriage is a matrimonial covenant. I don't want to overemphasize this. I've said it in several of my videos. Marriage is not a contract. Christian marriage, for that matter. Catholic Christian marriage, by extension. Let me talk about that, because that's where I'm lifting the definition from. It's a covenant. And we know the implications of being into a covenant. Covenants are to be fulfilled. Covenants are not to be broken. If you break it, you go with consequences. Contracts can be terminated at any time, but covenant is deeper. It involves God. So marriage is not just a relationship between a man and a woman alone. It involves God, a man and a woman, and God. So it's a covenant. Take note. So if you're entering into a marriage, you're entering into a covenant. And that's why you've got to prepare for it. Also, whether it's worth doing is worth doing well. Prepare for it. Prepare for it. All of your life before marriage is preparation for the marriage. Yes. Number two feature I want to bring out from there is that marriage is between a man and a woman, not artificial man or artificial woman, not man-made man or man-made woman. Naturally born man and a naturally born woman. The corruption in the world does not come into marriage. There's no marriage between a man and a man, no marriage between a man and a man. It's between a man and a woman, biological man and a biological woman. Okay? Without that, it's invalid. It's invalid, irrespective of who contracts it or who covenants it. It's marriage is invalid, irrespective of who officiates over it. The person that officiates over it is not God. It's God that made the marriage between a man and a woman. Okay? Next, that's number three, is that it's for the whole of life. It's a partnership for the whole of life. It's not part-time. So that's why it's till death do you part. So that's marriage. Till death. So am I ready for this before you go into it? So you have to make a lot of inquiries, a lot of information before you go into it. Next is that it's for the good of the spouses. Marriage is for the good of the spouse. So marriage is good. Marriage is good. So, was it yesterday or today? The success tips we had was that marriage is a good idea and will never be a bad idea. Marriage is good from the beginning. Marriage is good. It's not evil, and it can never be evil. It can never be bad. However, the people involved in it could be bad or good, but not marriage. Marriage is innocent. And when you treat marriage innocently, it will always succeed in your hands. It was what we shared about 2 days ago or so. Treat your marriage innocently. Marriage is bigger than the two persons involved in it. It's bigger. So marriage is good. It's good. It's bring out the best in you. Okay? If you get it right. Then next, number 4 or 5 is for the procreation and education of offsprings. So we ought to bring children into wedlock. You don't have children outside wedlock. So you give birth to children within marriage and you bring them up within marriage. And that is the plan of God in building the nation, in building the world, in winning the world to himself. That is the mathematics. That is the logic. That is it. It's family by family, unit by unit. That's how God wants to save this world. If you allow people to join themselves illicitly, what will be the results of the seed that they will produce? If good people can give birth to bad children, what will bad people give birth to? Good people, it's difficult for them to even bring up their children in God's way. How about people who don't know God? How about people who don't understand the plan of God for marriage? And that is why the world is how it is. When we don't prioritize what we should prioritize. Marriage should be number 1. Next, finally, it says that marriage is a sacrament. It's a sacrament. Yes, sacraments are outward sign of inward grace. So, in marriage, you receive grace abundantly. So, these are the features I want to talk about that are contained in that definition. And I hope you got something out of it. God bless you. And thank you for listening. Do it to share the video so that others can see it, like our page, follow our page, interact with our content so that it can go further. Thank you. And I am Kimimeni Umogo, your anchor. Bye-bye. Thank you.